Let's talk about the most widely used pesticide in the world. Now, it's really hard to pronounce, but chances are you probably have it in your body right now. Chlrpyrifos. It's on your fruit, it's in your vegetables, it's on the golf courses, and they detected this pesticide in 90% of US households. But it's in Europe as well, but it's been banned in several European countries, as well as several states in the US. I think it was California, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. There might have been one more. It's in your soy, the corn, the apples, cilantro, bell peppers, snap peas, peaches, you name it. It's all over the place. And here's the problem. If you compare this to glyphosate, which is an herbicide which kills weeds, this pesticide kills pests and insects, which means that it affects more animals and humans, which is a little different than a chemical that kills weeds. And there is no acceptable dose to avoid brain damage. In a study in 2016, 9 out of 10 children and mothers had this chemical in their body on urine samples, and I think it was actually in fat cells. There's been some interesting studies in relationship between this chemical and increased risk of autism. But of course, if you read up on the internet, they're going to talk about the safety. It was involved in 4,000 different studies, but many of these studies were sponsored by the industry that made this chemical. But what's really mind-blowing is that there's 34,000 different pesticides that are registered by the EPA. There are so many chemicals in our environment. And there are 85,000 more that are regulated separately for other purposes. So my point being is it's going to be impossible to avoid these chemicals. Yes, you need to do organic, but there's something else that you need to realize. Your liver and other organs make an enzyme that help you detoxify these chemicals naturally. It's part of the phase 1, phase 2 detoxification enzyme system. And as long as you keep your body healthy and consume things like cruciferous vegetables on a regular basis, that can greatly help you prevent these chemicals from accumulating. And one last important thing, and I've talked about this many times in other videos, is fasting. Fasting increases your ability to detoxify these chemicals. So those are the 2 tips for today. Start consuming cruciferous and start fasting. Hey, before you leave, I just wanted to give you a little quick history on some of the books that I wrote. This was one of the first books. It's called Dr. Berg Body Shapes. It was my attempt at writing about body types. What was very interesting about this book is I actually did all the images myself. Don't ask me why. They look actually not quite as professional as some of the images that I have in the new book. But anyway, this is my first attempt right here called Dr. Berg's Body Shape Diets. And then I wrote a book more extensive called The 7 Principles of Fat Burning. I don't even have a copy anymore, actually, because it's outdated. The next book, I put about 1,000 hours into this one right here called The New Body Type Guide. Major updates on the body types. I put a lot of energy into this. It has professional images, graphics, all sorts of things. Now, the problem with this book is it doesn't really describe what this is really about. Body types are only a small portion of what's in this book. And that's why I changed the name to the Healthy Keto Plan, okay? If you happen to have this book, you don't really need this book because there's only very, very minor updates. But if you don't have this, you need to get this one right here. This book goes into every single detail that you would ever want to know about. It goes into the 7 principles of fat burning. It goes into hormones, the body types, the basic keto plan. It goes into intermittent fasting. I talk about the 10 fat burning triggers and blockers and fat burning strategies with a lot of details in every single chapter. I go into body issues that interfere with losing weight. There's very few people that just have a weight problem. They have a lot of body issues, whether it's sleeping problems, stress problems, inflammation, menopause. I cover that extensively in this book. Then I talk about how to get rid of stress, and I show you a technique. Then I get into exercising. And then I have a lot of really good recipes in this book as well. So this is a good reference guide. On my website, if you get this book, you get this one free. It's called Healthy Keto and Intermittent Fasting. This is the shortcut, quick guide to this book. And the reason I created this book is to have you, within 45 minutes, learn how to do keto, okay, in intermittent fasting, exactly what you need to do. Then you can fill in the blanks with this book right here. So right now I'm doing a special. If you get this book, you get this one totally free, or you can go to Amazon and get these individually. So I just want to clarify the difference between this book and this updated one right here. If you don't have this, you need to get this right here. That way you can get the exact correct information to do it healthily.